crisis in our community here in Providence, which is why I've been so focused on it in my first term. We've been building houses faster than Boston or New York on a per capita basis, and 2,000 new housing units have been built over the last 4 years. 22%, or 1 in 5, are permanently subsidized affordable. And that's the first and most important plank in a plan to make Providence more affordable and accessible to all. The second plank is to make sure that the affordable housing we do have is preserved. And we've been making investments to ensure long-term affordability with renovation so everyone has access to a newly renovated apartment. And finally, we're protecting tenants in this moment with free legal assistance, landlord and tenant education, and other strategies to help tenants while we build new housing. We want Providence to be a place where everyone can afford to call it home.
Hi neighbors, as our next mayor, I'm committed to making housing more affordable and accessible to everyone who calls Providence home, especially our seniors. Our 3-point strategy starts with rent stabilization. I will work with the City Council so we can cap rent hikes at 4% a year so our neighbors don't find themselves priced out of Providence. We'll also work towards adopting a public developer model that will allow the city to acquire vacant lots and empty commercial buildings that we can then transform into affordable homes that meets the needs of our neighbors. And lastly, we'll adopt a universal build design in order to make sure that as new housing gets built in our city, that it is accessible to everyone, regardless of mobility. That's how we build housing that's affordable and accessible to all our neighbors that want to call Providence home. Throughout my time as a state representative, I have heard from countless neighbors around their concerns related to the dangerous conditions of our sidewalks and how unsafe they feel walking through different parts of our city. So as our next mayor, I am committed to having our Department of Public Works engage with our neighbors and listen. Listen to where you want to see sidewalk repairs in your community. And thereafter, we'll take action and keep you informed with a consistent timeline as to when those repairs are actually going to be prioritized. We'll also work towards having more raised crosswalks around different corridors in our city, because I understand that there is excessive speeding that occurs and makes it very unsafe for our seniors and our families that are trying to get around Providence. And you should not have to fear that your safety is at risk when you cross the street. And lastly, we will coordinate with our Rhode Island Public Transportation Authority, RIPTA, so we can improve mobility options related to public transportation in our capital city.
Providence is consistently ranked as one of the most walkable cities in America, and we need to maintain that access for all of our residents. It starts by ensuring that pedestrians are safe, which is why I committed to Vision Zero, which is a pledge for no pedestrian fatalities. And we're making improvements in streets across the city with things such as road diets, daylighting, and enhancements to key intersections. We're also making generational investments in repairing streets and sidewalks throughout the community to make sure that there's handicap accessible crossings, repaired sidewalks, elimination of trip hazards, and we're catching up on decades of backlog. Finally, we're working in close partnership with our friends at the AARP as part of our age-friendly PVD plan for things like walking audits, where we actually hit the streets and see where improvements and repairs need to be made. I look forward to continuing to keep Providence as one of the most walkable cities in America.